When I'd ask if everything was okay, she'd just smile, kiss my cheek. I wanted to believe her, I really did. I trusted her completely. That trust was my biggest mistake. One evening, I came home early, hoping to surprise her. A strange feeling crept over me as I walked upstairs. Our bedroom door was slightly ajar, and I heard voices, a man's voice low and unfamiliar, and then Chelsea's laugh. It wasn't her usual happy laugh. It was different, softer, more intimate. My heart started pounding in my chest. I pushed the door open, and my world shattered. There she was, with a man I'd never seen before. The look on their faces wasn't just shock. It was the look of two people caught in a world they had built just for themselves, a world where I didn't exist. The confrontation was a blur of tears and shouted words. The man, whose name I later learned was Mark, quickly left, leaving me alone with the ruins of my marriage. Chelsea tried to explain, her words a torrent of excuses and apologies. It just happened, Riley. It didn't mean anything. But as the days turned into weeks, the full, devastating truth began to unravel. This wasn't a one-time mistake. It wasn't a spontaneous lapse in judgment. This was a calculated, long-term affair. And the more I uncovered, the more I realized that this betrayal was planned. Meticulously and cold-heartedly, which made the pain 1,000 times worse. I started digging, not because I wanted to hurt myself more, but because I needed to understand how the woman I loved could do this. I found old text messages she thought she had deleted, emails, and even receipts. They had been seeing each other for over a whole year. They had secret getaways, celebrated anniversaries, and exchanged gifts. He had been to our home when I was away on business trips. She had introduced him to some of her friends as a colleague. Every late night at work, every girls' night out, was a lie. She hadn't just cheated. She had been living a completely separate life right under my nose. The person I shared my bed with was a stranger. The most painful discovery was an email chain where they planned their future together. They talked about when Chelsea would leave me, how she would break the news, and how they would divide our assets. They were literally planning the demolition of my life while I was at home, cooking her dinner and telling her I loved her. She wrote to him, "Just a little longer, and we can be together. I just need to get everything in order." My wife, my partner, was not just cheating on me. She was actively plotting my heartbreak. It wasn't a moment of weakness. It was a strategy. The thought that she could look me in the eyes, tell me she loved me, all while planning to leave me for another man, was a level of deception I couldn't comprehend. When I confronted her with the evidence, the fake apologies stopped. Her face turned cold. She admitted everything. "I didn't want to hurt you," she said, as if that made it any better. "I was just waiting for the right time." The right time. The right time to destroy me? There was no remorse, no genuine regret for the pain she had caused, only frustration that her plans had been discovered before she was ready. It was in that moment I realized the Chelsea I had loved for a decade was gone, or maybe she never truly existed. This new person standing in front of me was a cold, calculating strategist who saw me not as a husband, but as an obstacle. The divorce was brutal. She fought for every penny, just as she and Mark had planned in their emails. She tried to paint me as the villain, twisting the narrative to make herself the victim. It was a masterclass in manipulation, but I had the truth on my side. The evidence was undeniable. Friends and family who had once adored her were shocked and appalled. The support system I thought we shared became my support system, and for that, I am eternally grateful. They helped me pick up the pieces of my shattered life and begin the slow, arduous process of healing. It's been a few years now. Pain is no longer a constant, crushing weight. It's more like a scar, a reminder of a deep wound that is healed but will never fully disappear. I've learned to be more cautious with my trust, but I refuse to let her actions make me bitter or close off my heart forever. I heard through mutual friends that she and Mark didn't last. Apparently, a relationship built on a foundation of lies and deceit isn't very strong. I could have guessed. Their perfect plan fell apart, just like my marriage did. Sometimes I wonder if any of it was real. The laughter, the promises, the quiet moments we shared. Was it all an act? I may never have the answers to those questions. But what I do have is a second chance. A chance to rebuild my life based on honesty and genuine connection. The betrayal was the worst thing that ever happened to me, but surviving it showed me a strength I never knew I had. I learned that you can't control what other people do, but you can control how you respond. And I chose to respond by moving forward, by choosing happiness, and by leaving the ghosts of the past where they belong. For anyone going through something similar, know this. The pain feels insurmountable right now, but it will lessen. Surround yourself with people who love you. Allow yourself to feel the anger and the grief. And remember that their betrayal is a reflection of their character, not your worth. You deserve honesty, respect, and a love that doesn't have a backup plan. You will get through this, and you will be stronger on the other side. Thanks for listening to my story. If it resonated with you, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more content. Take care.